Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Saharu, and I'm coming to you from Panama City, Panama. So I'm coming to you with this edition of Ask an Aquarius on location. This was the holiday season. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, seasons greetings, happy Kwanzaa, happy winter solstice, happy Yule, happy Kwanzaa. Whatever whatever winter celebration that you celebrate, if you celebrate it all, have a happy one. And if you don't celebrate, have a happy one anyway. Have a happy day, have a happy week, have a happy month. Okay, so I came here to Panama because I wanted to hang out here for Christmas with my daughter, and we had a really fabulous time. While I was here, somebody asked me a question on Facebook for Ask an Aquarius. So I said, okay, sure, I'll do a video before we leave in the morning. Okay, so this was the question. The question was, a woman told me that her Aquarius girlfriend does not argue, does not debate, and pretty much just shuts down whenever there's a disagreement between the two of them. She doesn't understand because she wants her to basically fight these things out, get a resolution to it, and the Aquarius girlfriend is not doing that. Every time there's a disagreement, she shuts off, she leaves, period. She won't respond to her until I guess she feels like it or whatever the case is. So the girlfriend is a Libra, and she wants me to tell her, why is this, and what's the deal. So first and foremost, Aquarius and Libra is a pretty good combination. Some of my favorite people in my life have been Libras, so it's a pretty decent combination. But there's a problem. The Libra does like to debate. The Libra does sometimes like to argue, some more than others, and the Aquarius doesn't do that. We just, as a rule, don't do that. What happens is, I'll tell you, when I was a very young girl, I was in the debate team in high school for a couple months, and it ended up folding. But while I was on it, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot of things about arguments, listening to another person's argument, things along those lines. I was a young girl. I had a lot of fire. I still have a lot of fire, but I had a lot more back then. And I had no problems arguing a topic, both sides of the topic, even if I had to do what I had to do to win the debate. There was a lot of fire. I always, had to be right. That was a large part of my ego, my identity, was being right and being able to argue people down. So as I got older and more mature, and this is what happens with Aquarius, we get older, we get mature as time progresses. We become more humanitarians than we are in opposition with humans. So after a certain point, we really want to help. We always really want to help, but as we get older and that humanitarian gene kicks in with most of us, and we want to help humans, we want to heal people. We don't want to sit around arguing about facts and figures and statistics and thoughts and we got things to do. Come on, that's a bored person's activity, sitting around arguing with people online and arguing with people in your life and cussing out your girlfriend, and come on now. So we we don't feel that, and when people do that too much, we stop messing with them, because to us that's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, and the Aquarius has a lot of things to do. At least most of us do. Okay, so we get older, we get past it, we stop, period. And that's one of the things, is just maturity. The other thing is that we realize something that's very important. When you are arguing or debating with someone, they are not listening to you, and you are not listening to them. Most people in an argument listen to respond. Most of us listen to respond, to remember, and sometimes there can be some other reasons. But mostly in a debate, in an argument, you listen to respond. Now, in this case, I'm not convincing you. You're not convincing me. And at the end of this argument, what's left is bad feelings. And that's pretty much it. And that's why I said the Aquarius, if the Aquarius has too many of these interactions with you, you won't see them anymore. They will disappear on you. And if they come back and you keep doing it, eventually they're never going to come back. So you do need to address this issue if you really want this relationship. Okay, the other reason why Aquarius don't argue. Most Aquarius are clairvoyant to a certain extent. Some of us much more than others, but most of us have a clairvoyant, intuitive sense. So Aquarius are used to knowing things from the time that we're 2 that nobody else knows. Nobody else knows, nobody else perceives, nobody else has figured out. So after this happening to us for a million years, we figure out that sometimes we know stuff that people just don't. And they're not going to believe us if we try to tell them. And most times we do try to tell them, and they don't believe us. Or they don't believe us. So we just get to the point where we'll say it. Aquarius is very outspoken, so we will say it. But we don't put a lot of weight on the other person believing it. We don't care what other people think. And this is where people run into problems with us. They want us to believe them. They want to persuade us. They want us to do things their way. The Aquarius will never do things your way. Never. Never. Unless your way resonates with us. If somebody says something to me and I'm like, I like that, I'll do it. I'll go with that. But if you say something to me that's wacky, what you're pretty much going to get from an Aquarius is, okay. And that is not, some people mistake that for, oh, she agrees. That is, okay, I can see this is going nowhere. You're not listening. I'm not listening. So I'm going to drop it because I really don't care at the end of the day if you believe me or not. That's what has going on up here. Because we don't care what other people think. We're used to people being in opposition to what we think. So we get to a point where we stop trying to convince people of what we think. I always say, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. I'm not going to debate with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not going to go back and forth on a Facebook post. I'm either going to delete your comment or just stop talking. Just stop responding. I don't care. I don't care what other people's opinions are about me, my lifestyle, what I'm trying to do. What I care about is people having a happy life, a healthy life. And some of the times what people want to do is not what I do. I will fight for somebody else's right to live the way that they want to live, even if I don't agree with how they live. That's still their right to do it. So the Aquarius is not somebody who needs to feel correct. We don't need everybody to do what we're doing. We don't need everybody to go in the way that we're going. If you want to go another way, you can go another way. Now, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be going that way without me. But that's on you. Go ahead and go and get. That's the way that you want to go. Because if I want to go somewhere and you don't want to go, guess what? I'm still going. So we don't look at that as a negative. And so we're not going to argue with you. We're not going to debate. We're more than likely going to shut off. And if it happens too many times, we're going to completely detach. And when an Aquarius detaches, it is operation shutdown. No texts, no emails. And we might block you on everything. This depends on how irritated, how much did you irk me is the question. So, I'm going to tell you what you can do instead that is actually productive. Instead of arguing with your girlfriend, your Aquarius girlfriend, instead of trying to get her to debate, instead of trying to goad her into fights, take your time and read 2 books. One is called The 5 Love Languages. The other one is called Nonviolent Communication. The 5 Love Languages is written by a guy named Chapman. And Nonviolent Communication is written by a guy named Marshall. Marshall something. Can't remember. It's Marshall something. But it's called Nonviolent Communication. It's a very popular theory. So there's a lot of books written on it. There's one specifically for couples. Read both of these books. And take the advice about communication. The Aquarius responds very well to communication techniques. Not arguments, not debates, but like heartfelt conversations, And these two books will tell you how to have non-violent conversations, and the love languages will teach you what to look for. And Aquarius are very romantic and have very strong love languages. So if you look and figure out what those love languages are, and you use those two books, which you'll understand more about them if you actually read them, they will help you with this situation. Because what you need to do is change how you're communicating with your Aquarius. And if you change how you communicate with her, if you stop arguing, if you stop trying to debate with her, you have more heartfelt conversations, you talk through issues, and do those kind of things, you'll get a lot more out of your Aquarius, because she'll respond to that. She'll respond a lot better to that than anything else. But if you come at her negatively, if you come at her with debate and argument, she's just going to keep shutting off on you until the relationship is done. So that's what's going on with your Aquarius. It's not that she doesn't love you. It's not that she doesn't want to fix these things either. She probably feels the same way you do about the things that are left fragmented. She probably feels the same way in her heart about them. And 9 times out of 10, at this point in the relationship, she's thinking about leaving you. I'm telling you right now, because she's reasoning, is being with you better than being without you? And she's basing it on her peace of mind. If you're constantly arguing, even if it's not your fault, if it's her fault, even if you're constantly, she's going to reason like, we arguing too much, and I was better by myself. The Aquarius is so independent that we most of us, when we are mature and we're healthy, we're so independent that we do not mind being by ourselves. We don't mind being single. We are very independent. And as long as we have enough money and things to take care of ourselves, we're good. We don't mind being by ourselves. We would like to be with somebody. We would like to fall in love and have a very deep, meaningful connection. We would love that. But if it's going to be irritating, if it's going to be a fight all the time, if it's going to be negativity, if we can't work through situations with communication, if you're doing stuff we don't like, it's a wrap, like seriously. And she won't hold a grudge either. Like after it's over, you might see her in 4 years, and she might be as friendly. Hey girl, I need to buy you a drink. What's up with you? She might be friendly as all get out. And y'all might even be able to establish a friendship later on, depending upon how things go. But the bottom line is that if you want to stay in a relationship with her of any kind, you have to stop the arguing. Stop the debating. Just stop. It's not working for her. It's not working for you. It's not working for the relationship. So you have to figure out how to communicate with her in a nonviolent kind of way, in a heartfelt kind of way. And everybody doesn't have those skills. Seriously, I didn't even have those skills until I started researching and learning what is going on here. So we're not taught at school or by our parents how to do conflict resolution. Sometimes we are. I've seen it happen in classrooms. I've seen people have speakers come in and talk about it and workshops about it, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think we do that enough in our education systems. There's a lot of things we don't do enough of, and that's one of those things. We need to address conflict resolution and address it in a nonviolent, communicative kind of way. So a lot of people don't know how to do that, or they got an idea but they're not really sure. So that's why I encourage you to look at this material, and maybe you might even find other materials as you move through this information, because the guy that wrote Nonviolent Communication Techniques has several books. So you might want to read them all. I read, I think, one of them, and it was so profound that I was like, wow. And I've been talking to people about it ever since. I've been encouraging people to look at these ever since. So basically, that's what's going on with your Aquarius. And you can decide if you want to keep her or not. If you want to make these changes. If you want to keep her, make the changes. If you don't care, or if you're, funny about it, iffy about it, step back. Step back from the relationship and figure out if this is really what you want. Because if this is what you want, you have to learn how to communicate with her differently. Okay? So your relationship is in trouble. It is in trouble. But it doesn't have to end It doesn't have to end at all. The trouble that you're having, a lot of relationships have trouble. I've seen thousands of millions of relationships have trouble, but it doesn't mean that the relationship has to end. All it means is that the way that you're dealing with it has to change. And it needs to change drastically, and it needs to change now. So that is my recommendation to you, Carrie, if you want to stay in this relationship with your beautiful, sweet Aquarius. And I wanted to also remind you that the Libra Aquarius combination is one of the best ones. So if you want to take a look at your chart, you can go to one of the sites that does zodiac compatibility, and you can look at the compatibility between the Aquarius and the Libra. If you can find a site that's specific, that will do your entire chart, yours and other person's. I used to use astro.com for that. I'm not sure if it still works. I haven't used it in years, but I did my own chart on there years ago, and they had a section for compatibility, and I could take my lover's information and my information and see our charts, our exact charts, not just our sun signs, and see if this communication, relationship, whatever, look, I could see all the pitfalls and all the possibilities in the chart. So I hope that it helps you, Carrie, and I really do hope that you and your Aquarius can continue to love and support each other. Okay? Take care. From Panama City, Panama, this is Queen Aset Haru, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.